I honestly don't think it's ever been this easy to pull up to a river, get out your shelter, and be set up and ready to go in literally seconds. Like seriously, can this get any better? So I've been running a cheap, typical awning you can get for your four-wheel drive now for the past 3 years, and to be fair, it's done pretty well. It's only really been this year where it's begun to let me down. It started to leak a little bit, the brackets are all breaking, and after multiple repair jobs, I think I'm in need for a new awning. Now for the price of these type of awnings, they're really hard to go by. They're cheap, relatively light, and pretty easy to set up and pack up. The one thing that bugged me is that this awning design didn't really accommodate our current camping setup, as we do all the cooking and access all our equipment from the back of the 80 series, and with that awning design, there is no shelter back here from the rain or the sun. Now I did consider getting one of those smaller second awnings you can get just for the back of the car, but it would have been a lot more setup and pack up, and we still would have been left with a massive gap right here. So then I began to look at cheaper 270 awnings, and now these look good in theory, but they require a bit of fiddling around to set up and pack up, as they require the poles to stand. So then I began to look at freestanding awnings. Now, these give you the best of both worlds, large amounts of coverage, and they're actually easier to set up and pack up than your traditional awning. However, the one thing that always stopped me from getting one of these awnings in the past was the price. Even like a year or so ago, you couldn't get a 270 freestanding for under $2,000. They were just that expensive. But now these awnings are becoming more affordable for your average person, and today we're going to take a look at an aluminium freestanding 270-degree awning, which has seriously impressed me. So let me show you what it is. Alright, so I really needed a new awning, and after my experience with the OCAM rooftop tent, I was very keen to try out the new freestanding awning. Now, I think we all saw that from the tent, it is possible to have a quality product at an affordable price. So they have sent me out this awning to review, and we're going to review it just as we would any other product. So we'll see if it holds up to the test. Okay, so this video isn't going to be my final review on the awning, as I've only had it on the car for about a month, but in the few places I have taken it, I'm going to share my experiences with you, and we're just going to talk about the awning. How is it, how to set it up, pack it up, what's included, all that stuff. So let's get right into it. So the awning mounts to the side of your vehicle just like a normal, four-wheel drive awning would. It comes in a passenger side and driver's side variant, and it can be mounted to pretty much any roof rack or rooftop tent like mine is here. So the awning itself weighs 18 kilograms, which actually makes it one of the lightest freestanding awnings on the market. In fact, my old King's awning, which I had on before here, weighed 12 kilograms. So it's actually really amazing how light the thing is because it's made out of aluminium. And the awning is just under 2.4 meters long, mounted. A lot of 270 awnings on vehicles are actually super big. They're quite bulky things, but this one is actually super slimline. It doesn't look any bigger than my old side opening awning, which is actually really awesome to see. In fact, when I was at the four-wheel drive show in Melbourne, a lot of people thought this was just a brand new side opening awning until I told them, nah, it's actually a 270. So it's super slimline, and I really like that. The awning itself is protected inside this 600 GSM black waterproof UV rated bag, which is actually really good for storing it in, and it doesn't feel cheap. Like, it feels like a quality waterproof product. And unzipping and setting up this awning, this is where this thing really shines. Like, it is easier than my old side opening awning. So just have a look at this. Now, I always judge an awning of how good the zipper feels, and this feels really good. It's nice and big teeth in there, feels smooth action. So you simply unzip it all the way, and then the awning itself is held in by 3 Velcro straps, very similar to your standard side opening awning you find on most four-wheel drives. So then we'll quickly unstrap these, which is super easy. And then you can let her all drop down, and out she comes. So then what I usually do is just grab this little, I guess, tie-off strap here, and this allows you just to walk it around the car. And what I'm doing just here is I hook mine off to a little light setup I've got hanging off the tent, and just tension it down, and that's it, you're done. And if you're expecting a little bit of rain, you can put up this little pole, which basically stops rain from pooling on the awning. Like, super smart idea, awesome idea. And then you set up, like it's really that simple. And because the awning is so easy to set up and pack up, you're way more inclined to use it, whether you're on the beach or by the river having lunch, or even just a roadside stop. Having an awning that sets up and packs up in seconds makes you so much more inclined to use it. And the fact that there are no poles required to keep the awning standing gives you a real sense of space and freedom under it, you know? No more guide ropes to trip over, no more poles to run into. There's plenty of room to move around under here. Having 270-degree coverage of your vehicle is fantastic. You can access the rear of the car without getting wet. You can cook out here, do whatever you need to do. One thing I will say though, is you do lose a little bit of space out sideways, but I guess that's just a trade-off for protecting the rear of your vehicle. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the actual construction and strength of this awning. Now, you can see up here that they've actually gusseted all these arms, which is really good, keeps it nice and strong. This is actually 3mm aluminium, so it is a quite strong construction, and for the actual mounting bracket, it is super solid as well. So being able to keep it strong, but also super lightweight is awesome. Now, I will mention that mine actually flexes a little bit. Now, this is because I've got mine mounted to the rooftop tent channels themselves, and when I put a lot of weight on it, you'll see that it actually bends the tent, like the channels want to flex. So if you were looking for more strength out of your awning, I'd probably mount it to the roof rack itself. So there's included mounting brackets to do that. So if you mount it to the roof rack itself, it's going to give you a lot more strength, and I don't think you'll have as much flex as what I do. But in saying that, this hasn't affected the strength of the awning, and I'm not doing chin-ups on it each morning, so I'm just hanging towels and clothes of it, and for me, this has been fine. So in terms of wind, I haven't had this thing in any crazy storms or hurricanes, anything like that yet. But if anything like that does happen in the next 6 months, be sure to be subscribed because I'll be going over all that. But usually if I do know it's going to be a windy night, I put down the poles. So this tent has got 3 poles which fold down and then basically allow you to then tie down the awning off to the ground. And once it's tied down, it's not going anywhere. So simply deploy the legs, which are conveniently stored inside the awning itself. So drop them down, tighten that up, and then there's heaps of spots to actually tie down the awning, which is great. There's all these D-rings here, which you got one here, one there, one there, one there, all around, so there's plenty of points to actually tie down from. The awning includes some nice tie downs and pegs as well, so these are the actual tie downs that included. So you can see they haven't just thrown a peg in, there's actually some nice design. You can see they've got like some little hook here to tie off on and nice big point at the end, so they're real good for going into pretty hard ground, I've noticed. And the tie down cord, nice and orange, good color, so you can see it in the middle of the night. And they've actually got metal sort of clips that hold it all tensioned, which is good because usually you find plastic ones. And now with the awning secured, you know it's not gonna be going anywhere. But if it is, you know, a really torrential night, like it's gonna be a lot of rain, there are some points here where you can tie down to. So if you've got a spare, you know, tie down point, you can tie down here just to ensure all the rain is gonna run off. That pole should run most of it off, but yeah, if it's gonna be torrential, probably tie down from here just as well. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the actual awning itself and the material. Now, this isn't just your standard, you know, canvas material off a $200 awning. Now, this is actually a 600D Oxford fabric, so it's quite thick, and it's actually been dipped in a polyurethane coating, which means it's essentially been dipped in liquid plastic to make it waterproof, UV rated, and mildew resistant. So it's got a different texture that you'd find on your normal sort of cheaper awnings, and it's a really good material. Like, water just runs off it and doesn't soak into the actual canvas itself. So it's very easy to dry. It keeps the sun out very, very well, much better than your standard awning. And I think it's honestly just gonna wear much better against the sun, weather conditions, and hopefully last a heap longer. Now, if you are looking for a bit more added shelter, there actually is a really cool accessory you can get to go along with this awning, and that is the awning wall. Now, this packs up to a very small package. Once you see this thing deployed, it basically turns this into a mini house. So let me quickly show you how this all sets up. All right, now this is our awning wall. So let me show you. So I've tried to stretch it out for you to show just how big it is, and it might seem very daunting, and someone like me who always goes on about having a quick setup and quick pack up, why would I be using this? Well, let me show you how quick this is to set up. Now we'll quickly peg it down just to make it look all nice. And there it is, all fully up. It's like 5 pegs and a bit of Velcro to set the whole thing up. So it's super easy, so let me show you inside. All right, so I've been camped up at the Goulburn now for the past couple of days with the boys, having a grouse time, and I've had me awning set up, and I've also gone ahead and put up the awning walls. Now, I'm usually not one to set up a massive, you know, campsite setup. The less set up and pack up, the better for me personally. But we're here for a couple nights, so I figured why not set up the whole thing. And that was super easy to set up. It's just a bit of Velcro, basically hold it all on, a few pegs around the side, and you're set up. It's super easy because you've already got the awning coming off there. So an easy setup. I think that this awning wall is honestly going to change the way I camp. The amount of protection it gives you inside to cook dinner, to eat meals, to store gear, it's really good. So let me show you a bit about it. And welcome inside. Now, I never really thought of myself to be a camper with a big setup or anything, but this was that easy to set up. It's something that if I was staying at a place for more than one night, I'd set it up just because it gives you that little bit of a house, gives you that shelter, protection from the wind, and it's still like not claustrophobic. It's still easy as to get in and out of, and there's plenty of windows and light coming in. So at night when I camp, we sleep in the rooftop tent, which means I usually have to pack everything into the car overnight just so nothing gets wet. The old awning, look, without awning walls, rain can sort of come in sideways if you're in bad conditions or adverse conditions. But with this setup, I'd have no issue leaving stuff outside under the awning, set up chairs, have dinner. All this can be done in your own little space and little room. Got plenty of room in here too to get my fridge out, to get my table out, to access all my drawers. So cooking here when it's in, you know, rainy or whatever is absolutely perfect because you can stay in here, you can stay out of the weather, keep everything dry. And I think if you guys remember my rooftop tent video, I mentioned that being dry at camp is one of the biggest factors for me personally. Like when everything gets wet, that's ruining everything. No one wants to be camping out in the rain. And to have like, you know, a cheap mod to be able to just wrap up in a bag as small as this and then deploy and have all this shelter is really, really awesome. So in here we have 5 windows, all with the waterproof you know, material on them, so you can do them all up, keep the rain out. If it's hot, obviously it's got fly mesh so you keep the bugs out, which is awesome. But then if you just want, I don't know, talk to your mates through the window or for whatever reason, you can actually undo the window completely, and then there you go, complete fresh breeze, stick your head out, say hello. It's bloody awesome. Like, I'm actually really impressed. It's one thing just to have walls, but to have actually windows and doors, it's awesome. And of course, this is our main door here. You can obviously wrap them all up, and it's just awesome. Like, I don't know, as I said, I never really saw myself to be one that would want to set up a big sort of camp setup because, you know, the whole idea about the rooftop tent was quick and easy pack up setup. And the freestanding awning itself is so easy to swing out that takes literally no time. It's as quick as my normal awning. And setting up all this Velcro and these walls is also super quick as well. So if I was camping at some place more than a night, I'm definitely probably going to set this up. Just gives you a bit of shelter, makes it feel a bit more homey. Awesome setup. And it's all just attached via Velcro, so it's super easy to, you know, put back on even with one hand. And then when you want to take it all off, easy as just peeling it off. I mean, the walls might not be for everyone, but I think it's at least good that OCAM have the option there that if you are looking for some more shelter, you can get some. And so it's that time to pack up camp. You know, I have to pack up the awning and everything. Watch this. It's honestly too easy. First, dehook it. I just latch mine onto a little bolt here that's on one of my lights. So easy as to back that off, undo that, and then just start walking it around. Now you do see a little bit of flex there, but that's just because it's mounted to the rooftop tent, and I feel like the shell of the tent actually flexes a little bit with all the weight of the awning. So if you had it to a roof rack, it probably wouldn't flex as much as mine does. And then once you swung it across, all you gotta do is roll, just like how you'd roll up, I don't know, a door on a swag or a window on a tent or something. You know, obviously tighter the better, but just do it as best you can. I usually go the middle strap first. And there you go, she's all on. Grab your zip and you just walk her along. It really is that easy. Like, it's just stupid easy. Anyone can do it. It's just an awesome bit of kit. I really, really love it. Now, we're not going to go into too much more detail as this is only a first look, but I do want to talk about the price. Now, if you've ever been in the market for a freestanding 270-degree awning, you'll know they're worth quite a bit of money. It wasn't long ago that you couldn't get one of these style awnings for under $2,000, but nowadays a lot more have entered the market and they're becoming much more affordable for your average camper. The OCAM Premium Wing Awning costs $8.99, which makes it one of the most affordable freestanding 270-degree awnings on the market. At its design, quality, and price, I gotta say it's probably one of the best camping mods I've done to this car. It's definitely my new party trick, having an awning that requires no poles. And after only spending a few weeks with this thing, I think it's only a matter of time before we start seeing these on many four-wheel drives. So I'll come back to you guys in a few months' time once I've had a proper chance to use this thing. So keep an eye out for it in trip videos, because I'm gonna be giving this thing a hell of a workout this summer. So get subscribed so you can see the full review. Give this video a like if it helped you out, and we'll see ya in the next one.